Thank you to our Diana Olick. Let's talk more about what this means for the markets and for your money with Bess Freedman, CEO of Brown Harris Stevens, one of the largest privately owned real estate brokerages in the U.S. Bess, good morning. Happy holidays.
Good morning. How are you, Frank? Nice to see you. Happy holidays.
It's great to see you as well. All right, so we're going to pick it up where Diana left it off. The spring selling season coming up. Generally, people, that kind of starts in March. So give us a sense as we kind of go into the new year, as we head into that spring selling season, how meaningful is it? And from what you're seeing at the current rates, how willing do you think people are to sell their house and buy a new one?
I think, what Diana just said is really good news. The fact that, rates are coming down makes buyers and sellers feel good. She mentioned that prices are at an all-time high. And part of that is because of the tight inventory. And I think rates coming down will encourage more sellers to put their homes on the market, thus giving us more inventory. And then that will let up prices a bit so that they can come down. And then I think buyers will feel more comfortable getting out there. There'll be more to choose from because the reason why prices have ticked up slowly is because buyers are going to homes and they're seeing that there's not a lot to choose from, and then you get bidding wars. And so I think we get more inventory, prices come down, rates are down, and the market starts to move in a better direction overall.
Okay, so it's moving in a better direction overall, but still there's so many people, depends what source you use, but at least more than half of people have a mortgage rate under 4% right now. When you have that low rate, how difficult is it to see the kind of movement, you mentioned tight inventory, but see the kind of movement of people willing to sell and buy, even if it is at 5%?
Look, that's been the challenge. Most people, I think it's like 80% of people who have mortgages have rates, locked-in rates under 4%. But the fact that the Fed hasn't raised the Fed fund rate, they've indicated that next year they're going to cut it 3 times, maybe 4. This is good news. And I think sellers at some point do have to sell for various reasons, for moving, for things like they need to upgrade, downgrade, whatever it is. And so I think, rates are still historically low. And what we've seen is that people say that if rates get into 6% or lower, they would be willing to buy or sell. So I think it's psychological at this point, and I think sellers can also keep in mind that they could do a refinance in the future, and buyers can do the same. So I think that, look, it's not going to be crazy. I don't think you're going to see all of a sudden everyone agrees that they want to put their homes on the market, but I think slowly you'll start to see more and more people getting into the market because the psychology here is that rates have come down, will continue to come down, more inventory, more buyers, more sellers.
Yeah,
because remember, housing
I think what you're talking about, Bess, a lot of people describe it as marry the house, date the rate. Basically, you're saying.
yeah, which is true. I mean, that's the thing. And remember, a home is a long-term investment. It's for your future. It's not stocks. It's one of those things, people raise families in their homes. It's an emotional commodity. It's sacred. And that's how people have to think about the home buying process. The other good news, Frank, is that we're starting to see the rental prices are coming down. So all of this bodes very well for 2024.
So it sounds a little bit better, Bess.
2023 was a challenging year in housing for rates,
Before we
inventory,
let you go,
prices.
though, I do want to ask you one other question. I said I want to ask you one other question. Sorry to talk over you. Here's the question I think the audience wants to know. We're seeing a lot of new construction in most big cities, in most areas. So right now, would you buy now while prices are, I guess, kind of stable? Or would you wait for rates to go down with the thought that there might be more inventory and rates would be lower? I mean, which one would you do if you're somebody looking to buy a home now?
I mean, I would encourage people, if they find the home that they want now, that they should move on it. There's no reason to wait because you don't know what's going to be. None of us can macro forecast the future. So I would say if you find the home that you want, I would go for it today, right now. I would not wait.
All right, affordability is one big factor there, but Bess Freedman says go for it. Marry the house, date the rate. So that actually is good advice, Bess.
Very good advice, Frank. Thank you.
Great to see you. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Shifting our gears a bit here.